Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more detailed videos. The tension in Port Charles is mounting fast. In the center of it all, Portia Roberts demands answers, and Jordan Ashford is bracing for the fallout. Meanwhile, Martin Gray makes a confession to Laura Weber that could shift alliances and reveal hidden agendas. As each player lines up, the stakes get higher and the secrets get darker. On November 4th's episode of General Hospital, explosive confrontations and revelations will shake the landscape of Port Charles. Portia is seething. She has carried burdens, covered things, protected people. But now she's done dancing around the edges. Jordan has crossed a line. The moment Jordan thought she could sidestep Portia's questions, Portia pounced. The words were sharp, unambiguous. Enough is enough. Jordan, you've got to face this. The unresolved issue between you and Curtis, the secrecy, the late-night phone calls, the evasive glances. Portia sees them all. She's been letting things slide, but not anymore. Jordan's world is about to collide with Portia's moral reckoning. Portia's voice rang out. You're going to tell me the truth. No more glossing over. No more half answers. And Jordan, caught off guard for the first time in a long while, hesitated. The room held its breath. Everyone else sensed the shift. It was no longer a gentle nudge. It was a demand. Jordan's reaction was telling. She attempted calm, attempted deflection, but the tremor in her voice betrayed her. She tried to speak of other things, redirect the focus. But Portia cut her off. The baby's secret. The implications. The alliances. The loyalties. They're all on the table. Portia didn't raise her voice. She didn't need to. The tone did the damage. Jordan realized this confrontation would not end until the truth came out. Meanwhile, across town, Martin finds himself haunted by a decision. He's been holding something close. Something that weighs him down. Laura senses it. She's tuned into Martin. They've been through enough. She picks up the pause in his breath, the shift in his gaze, the hesitation in his words. Martin knows it's time. He confides in Laura. The confession arrives slow, heavy-laden. He starts, then stops, then begins again. But when he finally says it, the weight of what he's carrying is almost physically felt. To Laura, the news is both shocking and inevitable. Martin's secret. It implicates others. It shifts trust. It redraws boundaries. And Laura listens, her face a mask of concern and processing. She knows how these things play out in Port Charles, the way a small slip turns into a landslide. She studies herself for what comes next. Back with Portia and Jordan, Portia isn't simply demanding answers. She's paving a road for accountability. Jordan stands at the crossroads. Continue the denial, or step into the open. The stakes are high. If Jordan chooses denial, there's fallout. Personal, professional, relational. If she chooses honesty, there's exposure. The secret will not vanish. The alliances will shift. Portia isn't just waiting for the truth, she's preparing for its consequences. Jordan's mind races. She weighs what she owes to Curtis, to others, and to herself. She wonders, will Portia protect me or expose me? Will I survive the fallout? The truth she's been burying isn't some minor misstep. It has ripple effects across storylines, across relationships. Someone will win in this. Someone will lose. Then Martin's revelation blossoms into full bloom. Laura asks questions, gentle but firm. Martin reveals a connection, a hidden link, a decision he made in secret. Laura's eyes widen. The trust between them is reframed. She reaches out, touches his arm. Why now, she asks. Martin responds, because I couldn't live with it any longer. The tone is resolute. The message is clear. He's done hiding. The scene shifts. Portia corners Jordan in a hallway. The lights dim somewhat. Jordan takes a breath, searching for words. Portia doesn't let her off the hook. I need you to tell me who you are protecting, because if it's not you, I will. And I will find the truth from someone else. Jordan's silence echoes louder than any shout. Then she exhales. It's not just me. That's the moment Portia leans in, voice calm but deadly serious. Then it's time you decide whose side you're on. In the meantime, Laura sits with Martin in her office. She processes what he's told her. And she realizes there's no turning back. Not for Martin. Not for her. The secret they share now binds them and divides them from others. Laura makes a decision. She will help him navigate this, but they will both be transparent about where they stand. This changes everything. Back in the hallway confrontation, Portia empowers Jordan. It's not just confrontation, it's a push. You're smarter than this, Portia says. You know what you're capable of. But what I'm wondering is, who are you choosing to be when no one is watching? Jordan's posture shifts. The bravado fades. Fear seeps in. She realizes, even if Portia backs off, the pieces are moving. Someone else will ask questions. Someone else will pry. Jordan knows the countdown has begun. Later, Jordan walks by Curtis. Their eyes meet. The tension is palpable. She forces a smile. But the unspoken is heavy. The secret. The baby. The implications for Curtis. For their bond. For everything they've built. Jordan wonders if she's preparing Curtis for the truth, or betraying him by keeping the lie going. Portia's confrontation looms in her mind like a shadow. At Laura's office, Martin delivers the final blow. He says what's been unsaid. I was part of this. I made a choice. I covered this up. I live with the guilt. Laura's heart sinks. Because she knows in Port Charles, guilt is currency and secrets have expiration dates. She stands and places a hand on his shoulder. We handle this together, she tells him. And yes, the underlying message. We will survive, but not unscathed. The narrative swings back. Portia and Jordan face each other, fully locked in now. Portia says, you don't have to lie, but you do have to act. Jordan answers quietly, I don't want to lose you. I don't want to lose who I thought I was. Portia's expression softens for a moment. She gives Jordan a choice, but with consequences attached. You're already at the fork. Choose your path. But no, paths here are never easy. Meanwhile, Martin and Laura leave the office together. They step into the corridor, and Martin looks ahead, uncertain. Laura's presence is steady. She says, the truth will come out. You know that. Martin nods. And when it does, he replies, I want to face it with you. The alliance is set. Jordan returns to her apartment, sits down, hands fierce around a mug of coffee. She thinks about Portia's words. She thinks about the baby's secret. She thinks about Curtis. She thinks about being exposed. She feels the weight. She stands paces. She tells herself, I've done this the way I know how. I've protected everyone I could. But maybe it's time to protect myself. She picks up her phone and scrolls through a series of messages. One in particular shocks her. She reads it, then tosses the phone onto the couch. She takes a breath. She's ready. Portia, meanwhile, sits at her desk, the office door closed. She stares at a file, looks up at the door handle, hears a soft knock. She opens. Jordan stands there. For a moment nothing is said. Then Jordan speaks. I want to tell you everything. Portia nods. Good, she says. Because we start now. The camera pans past them. The words hang heavy. Martin goes home. He stands in his living room, lights dim. He opens a drawer, pulls out a photograph. It's of him younger, happier. With someone who trusted him blindly. He stares at it, remembers. He closes his eyes. I'm sorry, he whispers. Then he places the photo back and walks away. The guilt won't vanish, but the first step toward facing it is done. The episode builds toward its crescendo. Portia's full confrontation, Jordan's admission, Martin's exposure, Laura's support. The secrets no longer work in shadows. They must stand in the light. Jordan arrives at Curtis's place. She sits across from him. She takes his hand. She says softly, there's something I need to tell you. He looks at her, hopeful yet anxious. She continues, it's about our future. His chest tightens. He nods. She opens her mouth, and at that moment the scene cuts. Across town, Laura stands on her porch, phone in hand. She calls someone. The screen splits between her and Martin. She says, we're moving forward. But we may need help. Martin's voice, I know. The connection is made. The path ahead may be rough, but at least they're aligned. Back in Jordan's apartment, Jordan reflects on the moment with Curtis. She realizes she cannot spin this anymore. She cannot pretend. She must choose. The audience senses the tension wobble. Will she come clean now or later? Portia stands in the doorframe of the apartment, listening to Jordan's internal monologue. Then she quietly leaves, closing the door behind her, letting Jordan have the space and the responsibility. In the final minutes, Portia walks through the corridors of the police precinct. She's steely confident. But there's a flicker of concern. She knows what happens when people lie in her world. Someone else pays. She takes a file from her desk, glances at it, and locks it in a drawer labeled pending. She knows she has to stay ready. Meanwhile, Jordan decides. She picks up the phone again, types a message to Curtis and deletes it. She exhales. The secret still looms, but the first crack has opened. She looks out the window at the city lights of Port Charles and remembers what Portia said, paths here are never easy. She permits herself a small, sad smile and turns away from the window. The episode closes not with resolution, but with momentum. The confrontation has moved from simmer to boil. Portia's stern words to Jordan have shifted the axis of the story. Martin's secret to Laura has raised the stakes and changed loyalties. The characters stand at thresholds. The question is, who will step over, and who will collapse under the weight? In Port Charles, every choice echoes. Every lie is a lead weight. Every truth demands a price. Jordan must decide whose side she's really on. Portia must determine how far she'll go for accountability. Martin must figure out if confession can bring redemption. And Laura must decide if she'll walk beside him into the storm or turn away before the winds pick up. As you watch the next episodes of General Hospital, keep your eye on the undercurrents, the looks unsaid, the glances averted, the secrets whispered in hallways. Because on November 4th, the surface cracks open. The revelations begin. And in Port Charles, once you let the truth out, you can't stuff it back in. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel for all of your updates.